live.
Hi, welcome to the StockinetteZombies. I'm Amy, also known as J Nitma.
And I'm Megan, also known as Just Run It. And this is episode 454.
Nice, nice.
Some
The
symmetry
one,
there.
the one where we moved to Patreon.
Yeah. So last night I was a busy bear sending emails to folks, and we've been signaling that it was going to change for some time. So I apologize. Life is it's
Well,
crazy bonkers.
it is life
Traveling
and
for
hard.
yeah, I've been life and hard. In addition to just like different things happening in life, like children going to
Mhm.
college and visiting them in college at their new residence, and like counseling them on life events as they
Yep.
are learning to adult. I am also adulting. So yeah, got to go to Chicago last week, which was a lot of fun. But the headline here is we are on Patreon. So ZKN used to be a yearly commitment, and I know that that was a lot for some people. So now we have a Patreon option, which is billed out monthly, and that solves a few problems for us. One, we have struggled with people getting emails. Patreon hopefully has figured all of that out and is landing is in your inbox. But the ZKN distribution list, the last email that you will get from us will be next week. That's your final one, and the rest will be the rest of our communications for ZKN will be through Patreon. We did have a few folks that did not renew in the like September timeframe, that still had their memberships that were yeah, not expired. So a lot of folks had expired ones. And so yeah, we do hope that you join us over on Patreon. And if you did have some outstanding membership that you needed a credit for, I emailed you, and many of you have responded back with your PayPal email address to get that refund issued as quickly as I can. And yeah, a lot of administrative stuff right now
Right.
with that.
But all of that
Um,
is just to lead into the apocalypse, right?
yes,
So we had talked and we believe that, getting those Patreon signups in before, what was it, Megan? October 7th?
yep,
On October 7th, Patreon will be given Patreon members, paid Patreon members, because there is a free one so that you can get information from us.
yep,
But all the paid memberships will get a link to sign up to the Zombie and Apocalypse early.
yep,
And then hopefully soon on the website, we will be announcing what the public signups will be. I
yeah.
believe we were going to go with that following Saturday, but refer to the website once that gets out there.
Yeah, I apologize to anyone that has had recent moments like me where I was like, I would have normally signed up for ZK by now. Like, what's going on? Did I miss something? Did not want to trigger that did I miss something effect for folks. But yeah, we're getting things set up and in place. And yeah, a little bit of a delay, but still in a normal-ish time frame for us. I don't know. So,
Yeah. Yeah, it's no, not in September, right? It's October 1st.
yep.
Um,
Happy
but
October.
just a lot of life changes and everything, so it's okay to shift to the right a little bit in our plans. And
That
yeah,
sounded
we're
very much like
we're
work, Amy.
sorry.
Shift to the right. Yeah, we're not going to meet that KPI of getting
Sorry.
signups out and yeah.
I use the terms I know.
Yeah. No, it's fine. It's funny when you start hearing your kids say some of them, though, right? Like, yeah, let's put a pin in that. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, yeah.
What are you talking about? But yeah, super excited about it. A lot going on, right? The signups have been a little delayed by the switch over to Patreon, but the work that needs to go into making it happen is definitely continued. So yeah. super excited about that. Super excited about the new Patreon platform, and the ability to send some messages. I'm really excited about the polls. I've long wanted to kind of ask folks on if there was a night that, coming up for one of our craft chats that would be like a better night, because I do know that there were some folks that were like, hey, Wednesdays are tough for me, right? So getting some back and forth from our paid members that isn't like sending out a link to a Google survey
Yeah.
is something that I'm super excited about. And yeah, just really appreciate everybody's support. In addition to our chats, we do the KALs and we have prizes and we ship things out, and we've got the community support makes all of that possible. So
Yeah, absolutely. And I really love our KLs. And speaking of which, we have
yeah,
officially crossed over into our fourth quarter. And
yeah.
fourth quarter, if you hadn't noticed the trend, we were going keep it cozy, uh, keep it colorful, keep it, uh, what was it, classy.
But
And then
classification, yeah.
yeah, and now it's keep it creative. So, Megan, you have our 5 categories for this
Yeah,
quarter.
yeah. So get your entries out there. And again, if you have not started the KAL, it's super easy to join us as we go. It's a rolling KAL. So anything that you've knit this year counts. And it kind of can be fun to figure out like, okay, I knit something with brioche that was also for my neck. Like, which one do I want? Which category? Maximizing the projects that you've already knit is it's fun to plan, but it's also sometimes fun to be able to figure out how many categories you can hit with the things that you've already knit, which is kind of the gist of what we're doing. We don't want it to be too prescriptive, and we just want to encourage people to enjoy a craft. So yeah, the categories for the fourth quarter are modify a pattern, so show your creativity through modding a pattern. Craft a gift, so show, pass on the that creativity to somebody else. Craft for your self-care for yourself. So, crafting, using that creativity to care for yourself. Craft with new stash, so maybe spoil yourself and buy something new and
Yourself.
immediately cast on guilt-free because it's for a KAL. And craft with some souvenir stash, which is,
Yep.
everybody comes home from the fiber events, including ZK or Rhinebeck or whatever, with some stash that was like, oh, this was an exclusive colorway, or oh, this was something that I want to buy because I'm in the moment, right?
Hmm.
So yeah, some older stash that you maybe has been hanging around and you've got some guilt about
Yep.
wanting to get on the needles. So yeah, I'll get those out in the forums here shortly. Get your third quarter entries in. Again, a minimum of 3 to be eligible for prizes,
Yep.
and we'll draw for those prizes next week.
Yep. I have them here.
Mhm.
So, prize that we're offering, your choice. If you would like the sun colorways, minis, and then we'll put a doodle deck in there because it's super fun to incorporate these into a doodle.
Mhm.
This one is the Portland doodle deck. And then, or if you prefer blues, we have a blue one. And
Mood.
then this is going to be paired with the Seattle doodle deck because it's got like, a little mermaid tail in there and a little umbrella. That would be so cute with these colors.
I thought that was
So,
a whale. That's a mermaid tail.
oh, okay. Well, okay. So Seattle, I was thinking
I like that there's mermaids in Seattle. Let's go with that.
you're probably right, but my brain went Starbucks logo
Yeah, 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 yeah. No, I
mermaid.
get it.
Sorry.
No,
Where's
it's
my brain
fun.
at?
It's fun. No, it's fun.
And then I have a wonderful self-striping sock from Kirby Werby that we can give away for those who are entering their self-striping socks, or
Yes.
mittens or hats or anything self-striping.
Self-striping anything.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
But yep,
Very
get your
excited.
entries in to get this lovely bundle with a deck. Um, And honestly, we can mix and match the decks if you want the warms, but you really like the Seattle, it's fine. But this is how I paired them for this. So,
Excellent.
okay. So that will be
That is
drawing
definitely
next week.
keeping it, I guess, colorful, but also classy. I feel like it's
Yeah.
classy.
Yep. And those are sock minis, so not DK minis.
Got it. Cool, cool. Well, you
Okay.
can always hold sock double.
Yeah, it's very true. So we were going to talk about favorite things. So speaking of new stash, I am still part of the Woolens and Nosh club. So I
Yep,
have
yep.
this beautiful fall stripes colorway. It's just called September, I think.
It's like free
Oh,
to good home.
oh, one friendly rooster.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's very cute.
Yes. Must have
It's fun
been
to
some
have the
sort of
date on there
ad
too.
or some sort of yeah, something in a coffee. I'm imagining Michelle walking into a coffee shop and there being like one of those take a number type signs
Yeah.
that's like, yeah, free to good home, one friendly rooster.
Friendly roosters are hard to find, in my
Yeah.
experience. And then kind of along the lines, not that I was planning this or anything, but I got some new stash into my life. I was using a gift card that I had had from last Christmas and got some Farmer's Daughter's fibers. This is the Spin Daughter or Spinster's Daughter. So it's Spin Cycle yarn dyed by them, or dyed by Farmer's Daughter's fiber. Uh, so very pretty, fall color. And then I got the color work to go with it. So a Spin
Ooh.
Cycle in a really beautiful teal. It's mostly solid. Like you can kind of see a little variation, but it's not as stripy as I would assume the normal spin cycles are. But it is a spin cycle, like the dyed in the wool kind, right? The kind that normally barber pull and give you a lot of different colors.
Yes.
But I figure that in a, yeah, I'm excited to cast on a colorwork tee, and I have a couple of them. I think it's Knit Loves Wool. Um, is that a designer that does a lot of color work?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So, yeah, it's one of those that I have in my library, that I haven't knit yet. So I'm very excited to put that on in this quarter.
Yeah, she just I think I just got an email from her. She's got a brand new one out, Jen Steinman.
Okay,
Or Stein, why can't I think of their name? The last part. Anyway, yeah. She's got a new one.
lots of
Thistlewood.
color work. Yeah, a lot of color work yolks and beautiful, beautiful. I don't
Steingast,
know.
sorry.
There you go.
Steinman. Woo!
Well, the person with the computer, right? You get to look
Yeah,
all that up for me.
yeah. Again, I was just on site like note-taking mode. So
Got
like
to make sure
looking
it's
things up as you're
documented. Yeah.
talking. Sorry. Yeah.
And then my other thing that I am, it's my favorite thing right now is vests. I've been looking at vests, like all sorts of vests. I bought two button-down shirts with collars that I'm excited to pair with a vest. And so I grabbed some, this is Woolfolk. Yeah, Woolfolk Luft, Luft,
Mhm.
bulky. And this is a free pattern called See My Vest. And I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited to get that cast on. I believe the lady owns a yarn shop and does free patterns to incorporate into her yarn shop. So she has more than one. So this is the bulky weight See My Vest, but there was a worsted weight See My Vest that was also free. So just a plain vest, but everybody who's knit it, it looks well done, right? There wasn't a lot of variation in what people came up with getting that final object. So I'm very excited. I will say it's a Canadian shop, so everything is in centimeters. So, got to do that switch in your brain.
Hmm.
And the unfortunate tale is that she wants a 7 millimeter, which doesn't come in US sizes.
Mm.
Because a 10.5 is 6.5, and then an 11 is 8. So there's a gap in there somewhere.
Yeah.
And so I didn't have a 7 millimeter. I used a 10.5 that I had, and I'm getting close-ish gauge. So I will be in between two sizes when I get this done. So that's fair warning. Yeah, if you don't have a 7 millimeter, you might have to do some adjustments there to get gauge.
Looks very
Or
swooshy.
oh gosh, it's the softest stuff. I knit a Waves of Change uh sweater. I really like that. I wish there was more neck shaping, and I don't know if I left it out or it wasn't in the pattern to begin with, but it kind of creeps up on my neck during the day, and I feel like I'm tugging it down a lot. But the yarn itself, beautiful, wonderful, love that garment. It's so squishy, and it's a bit cropped, so I only wear it with dresses and things like that. So yeah, and again, a little felted underarm because it's not super wash and all of that jazz, but definitely a pleasure to knit with. The process is going to be amazing,
Mhm.
even with the bigger needles. So that's my list of favorite things for now. I do have one more thing. I finally bought one of those little neck light things. And it was basically because it's just so dark in our living room, and I was getting to the point where I wanted to work on things. Even my crochet blanket, when I was working with the dark brown, I was like, I cannot see this. So it is time for the extra lighting.
Yeah. Excellent. Is that a specific brand or
I grabbed it off of Amazon. I can, yeah, it's Glowcent. So, it was a $20 one. It's not very compact, I would say. If you're going to travel with one, it's pretty like
Mhm.
that's really wide and you can't really collapse it down. I've seen ones that are a lot more collapsible, and portable, but honestly, I was just looking for something quick because it was becoming an issue. Uh, just like I didn't want to cast extra lighting around. Although I will say that I was working with it and then I started talking to Matt and he's like, because the little lights
Yeah.
go
This
straight
this
into.
light right here, Jeremy will like, put the blanket over his, and I'm like, it's not even like pointed at you. It's pointed up at the ceiling. It's so bright. Just like, yes. And I have like a permanent place next to the light in our house. So
Yeah.
yeah, this is my spot for that reason.
Yeah.
That
And
and like
again,
the pile of stuff next to it.
it's just that the overhead lights are not enough anymore. So
Yeah.
on to the new.
Yes, yes. All right. So yeah, I think I showed off the skew socks that I made for Ellie. It was yarn that she had picked out, and I think she was going to make something for herself. I got to see her this past weekend, which was definitely one of my favorite things, getting to go to Madison and see Miss Ellie. Really enjoyed I spent a lot more time close to the lake this past visit than I have in the past. So that was very, very cool. Lakes, I guess there's multiple lakes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, left the socks fit perfectly. So like did a little bit of math on like what fits my foot and then what her shoe size is relative to mine and the difference. And with that origami heel, like I was, yeah, it was a little trepidatious. I'm like, it's going to be too long. It's going to be too short on her foot. Fit her like I had her foot just right there. It was obviously colors that she loved because she had picked them out. And yeah, got a text yesterday about like I wore them, and like one of my study buddies was like, "Your mom made those socks," and she's like, "Wait till you see my blanket." Like, if you think these socks are impressive, so yeah, love the Knitworthy people. Love that I got to see her. which was fabulous. Super excited about Patreon as well. I would say that that is a highlight.
Mhm.
And the next category of challenges, although I do think I'm still missing a few. I'm going for all five every quarter. Um, and
Yeah, I
so
missed
think
lace this last time around. I was close, but I
yeah.
just didn't get lace in.
Yeah, and to speak to that, I did get pulled into. So Pearl Soho
Mhm.
had I believe it was called the Air Wrap that they were selling kits for, and they often had it like at a really great discount. I was holding lace with something to create a new like content. Why am I not remembering what project it was? But I was like, oh, I often struggle with finding cotton blends in the weight that
Mm.
I want. So this is just 100% cotton. It's a lace, obviously, and a really nice like wide array of colors. So 930 yards. I could create something with this held double. So like a fingering weight plus this would be, about a sports plus this would be about a DK. So it kind of walks it up, right? And yeah, just kind of fell in love with a lot of the different colors
Mm.
that I could combine if I want to, kind of a la the air wrap, or I could do like hot dog fingers,
Oh,
yarn fingers here. This bright pink really spoke to me. And then this blue. So yeah.
oh, pretty.
Hot dog fingers, yarn fingers. So yeah, have a lot of options of combining and getting adding some bulk to it, but also having it be like a lighter weight or a
Mhm.
lighter weather knit because it's the 100% cotton. And it's nice. It's not, I'm not working with it, and I do plan to combine it with like a swooshier, more elastic wool. But yeah, nice options
Yeah,
from Pearl Soho.
I would say we definitely could say that the weather is one of our favorite things today. Oh my
Yes,
goodness.
October came and it's like 17 degrees cooler.
Yep. Just for today, though. Snips
No,
back up a little
Jeremy was
bit
like, "Oh,
tomorrow.
I think it's supposed to cool down," and I was like, "And then it's supposed to be 80 next weekend," which makes my Rhinebeck sweater feel kind of silly because it's very warm. But yeah, and then another one that I got pulled into by the unique content, and I believe I've maybe seen and felt this in person before, but North Bay Fiber heritage fingering, so Targi Polypay.
Yep,
How do
I
you?
have that base sitting in my stash. I'm so excited to knit with it. Um,
Yes,
I bought it
so
right
very.
after I knit the one top that I test knit for Samantha, and her sample was made out of that. So sorry, just
Yeah, 100% sourced, spun, and hand dyed in the United States. So in Michigan is where it was sourced. It was spun in Wisconsin, and it was hand dyed in Michigan. So very cool. Algae is the colorway. Again, it's popping a little bit more than I don't know.
mm,
I feel like it again. I buy colors similar to, but yeah, that looks like. But like if you hold it next to another green, it kind of yeah, it's yellower and less
mhm.
neon than it's coming
Yeah.
across on my fabulous camera
Yeah,
here.
Amazing
But
Threads in Minneapolis has it in person. So I was during the yarn crawl is when I got to see it in person and see all those bright, beautiful colors and had trouble picking them, but we were kind of on
yes.
the clock. So I was like, okay, got a really nice, beautiful blue. Uh,
Yeah,
and
I think that is where it entered my life. If you were talking about trajectory, like I think you showed off after the yarn crawl, and I was like, oh, they have interesting bases.
mhm,
It's bouncy. It reminds me a little bit of my Barrett Woolco
mhm.
Wisconsin spun, right? Like but it feels, I don't know, it's just a little bit different. I think it may be a higher micron for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
I I would say that it doesn't feel as plump. Like
Yeah.
it feels like it might actually drape a little bit more, but it does not have the drape of merino. Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
very nice wool.
Yeah, Targi again is very dense, but this is woolen spun. So it's kind of a
Hmm.
nice little combination of like a dense but like woolen spun. Yeah. She has some, I subscribe to her. She has some great sales, and just opened LYS in her town in Michigan. So very cool if you want to go check out her stuff. They have this heritage fingering, and then they have a heritage worsted. And then they've got other bases as well that have been calling to me because they are unique and I want to try them out. But this algae and the heritage fingering is the first one that made its way to me. So
Yep.
yeah.
No, I agree that that's a good pick.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels like for a while both of us were kind of in a like post ZK purchasing, like, oh, we have so much. And then you did
Mhm.
the no buy, right? Month. And so yeah,
Yeah, that was in
great
August,
choices.
so it's been a
Yeah.
full month since then of buying a sweater's quantity of yarns.
Excellent, excellent. Well, again, you've earned it. A lot of stuff got
Yeah,
donated and exited your home, but also, yeah, fun to fun to kind of like, yeah, not earn it, but like save up for it and have that
yeah.
exciting thing arrive that you've really hemmed and hawed and yeah,
I will say that I have also just been kind of taking advantage of gift card purchases lately, right? Like, oh, I'm gonna buy that, but with a gift card,
yeah,
or
yeah,
or at least have it bring down the price to something that feels more like, okay, this is not as big of a splurge.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, super excited about all the things that we announced at the beginning. Make sure that you're getting your entries in so that next week when we draw, we can some potential prizes headed your way. And yeah, ZK signups coming soon.
Yes, yes. Keep an eye out for the website. Hopefully, shortly we'll have the announcements of one, Patreon, two, the date that the Patreon people will get the notification, and then three, the notification for public spots that will be soon. So
Yes,
very exciting.
yes, 2025 is right around the corner. So
It really is.
yes.
Bye.
Bye, Uvta.